Welcome back, everyone. Many of us deal with stress on a daily basis, and we know that all that stress can take a toll on our bodies.
Certified guided imagery therapist Connie Bjork is with us this morning from Integrated Living to show us how to relax our minds and reduce some stress. I think one of the things about stress is it just sort of creeps up on you and you don't even notice it. So what are some of the key things to start, even if you don't think you're stressed out, to start getting to dissipate it?
You know, that's a wonderful point that you brought up. It used to be that we just had stress and then chronic stress. We now have stress, chronic stress, and super stress. And more people are at the super stress level where it becomes a way of life.
Right.
So 96% of all of our hospital visits, our clinic visits are due to stress. It causes insulin resistance and heart attacks and stroke and even death. And so the most important thing is to eliminate the cause as much as we can.
And doesn't, like, when you're really stressed out, doesn't your cortisol levels go up? And what does that do exactly again?
Whenever you are in a stressful situation, your body goes into fight or flight. So adrenaline, cortisol is racing, coursing through your body. And it sends all of the blood to your arms and your legs for that fight or flight. And it then, robs the rest of your body from needed oxygen. So when you're under a lot of stress, you tend to not make the best decisions and choices for your life because the oxygen isn't getting to your brain. It's going, to the extremities to be able to run.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are a couple different ways too that we can try to get rid of it and get it out of our body, right?
Yes.
It's key to do that.
Yes. And I know that when we were emailing back and forth, you talked a little bit about people have talked about breath work. That's one thing that is with you all the time. And there's one that I teach a lot in my work. And it's very simple. You just breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Okay? And you do it 3 times. And if you do that, by the 3rd time, you're going to feel the wonderful chemicals wash over your brain. If you feel dizzy or a little bit lightheaded, that tells me that your stress level is a lot higher than is safe for you.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Just from 3 deep breaths?
Just in.
Interesting.
And if you do that 3 times, you'll be able to tell.
As you mentioned, the beauty of it, though, too, is you can do it anywhere.
Yes.
You should. Remembering is the hard part.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yes. And a lot of what I teach is awareness. In the mind, everything is happening in the present moment. So when we replay old negative tapes over and over again in our mind, your body is sending out the adrenaline and the cortisol all over again, damaging your blood vessels and harming all of your organs. So it's important then to train the mind to be aware of what's going on in your mind. If there's thoughts that are repeating themselves that are negative, just, in your mind say, stop. I see you and I'm choosing to let you go. And you can stop that chemical process.
What about certain things that just trigger stress? Is there a way to sort of change your interpretation so even as those things happen, you no longer react in a stressful way?
Yes. That brings me to my passion, which is guided imagery. 2 years ago, the New York Times wrote an article talking about how guided imagery is the only thing that cures PTSD. Now, cures is a very strong word. And they use that, and I really believe that is true. Guided imagery, the therapy that I do is called intrapersonal guided imagery. And internationally, it's the #1 integrative medical modality. And it bypasses all of the causes, the symptoms of something, and goes right to the root cause. Now, if we use that in the mind, everything's happening in the present moment. That's bad if we're replaying the negative tapes, but it's good if we use it in imagery. I can take a client back to any given time and heal that emotion. Everything goes down to an emotion that we have not healed.
Hold that thought. We'll get much more on guided imagery when we come back with Connie Bjork. Stay close.